Hey everybody, Sean here. Just a heads up before we start this episode. We actually recorded this episode at like 1 a.m. Just to get it in. It was kind of quick because Joe just got married. Yeah. But so it was kind of quick. I don't think it's our best, but I don't know. We're also super critical. So if you don't like it, please give us another shot. We promise it'll be better next time. We're really sorry. But I also think it's actually kind of fine. But yeah, that's it. Next week, we're going to start our December programming, which I don't think we've even finalized yet. But we'll let you guys know on our Facebook page. And that's really it. So enjoy the show, and congratulations to Joe.
Greetings from Trovember. This is Lloyd Kaufman, president of Trome Entertainment and creator of The Toxic Avenger. And you know, folks, when we're not making those great movies like Romeo and Juliet and Return to Nukem High Volume 1 and Volume 2, we like to kick back and listen to The Horror Show, because The Horror Show with Bill and Mike and what are your names again?
Sean and Joe.
With Sean and Joe. The horror show with Sean and Joe rhymes, and that's reason enough for it to be the best show that we gay people like.
Hello everybody, and welcome to The Horror Show, the show that dissects, mutilates, dismembers, and butchers all of your favorite and not so favorite horror movies and other horror-related events. I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
Oh, Trovember. It's beginning to look a lot like Trovember.
Is it ending?
I feel like it
Why
is.
is it beginning?
It is. This is the last week. I feel like Trovember deserves a super sexy holiday song.
So that's what you went with?
No. I realized it as I was singing it. I'm trying to think about what's the sexiest Christmas song? Is there such a thing?
That rapey one about baby it's cold outside.
Oh god, that's fucking horrifying. Or no, I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus is like the worst thing that's ever happened to the world. Well, I shouldn't say that. That's fucking
the worst
terrible.
that's ever happened to the world.
That's so terrible. I take that back. But
what is a sexy
it's an
Christmas
atrocity.
song?
I feel like I'll Be Home for Christmas.
That's not sexy.
I think it's actually sad.
If you're 80.
A sexy Christmas song. Gotta be off of a Mariah Carey CD.
No, fuck you. Dude, I hate... Dude, I was just talking about this today. My dad, who's a fucking, you know my dad. He's just a furious, angry man. Loves that Mariah Carey Christmas song. And he would just play it on repeat. And I fucking hate that song. That'd be my top 3 least favorite songs of all time.
Which one? All I Want for Christmas Is You?
Yeah, and now that you said it, it's going to be stuck in my head all fucking night. It's like Chinese water torture.
Christmas. Ooh, baby.
There is no sexy Christmas song.
Oh, no, there is. Oh, it's the one from Home Alone 2 that our buddy Buzz Breadsticks plays on repeat all Christmas.
Which one? Jingle Bell Rock?
No. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to waste our time. And I have to look this up. Buzz Breadsticks loves this movie so much, or this song so much. Oh my god.
Oh, Here Comes Santa. No, I guess it's not sexy. I guess that's just a good one.
Oh, I'm gonna text them in the middle of our show.
Middle of our show where we're talking about nothing related to our
episode.
No.
All right, guys. The text is in.
I hope you're going to edit something.
Now we play the waiting game.
So delayed.
Yes, but this week we are talking about Poultrygeist.
Yeah, what's the full title?
Poultrygeist Night of
Chicken Dead.
The Chicken Dead, which is not a good play on words. Fucking movie is, I think it's phenomenal.
Oh, it's great.
It's so good. I picked it thinking it would be about turkeys. And I figured Trovember, I'll pick something.
It was
but
a solid,
poultry. It's a meat
thought process.
Yeah, so it was not about turkeys.
No,
it's about chickens, and there's a lot of music in it.
Yeah, I could not believe there's so many musical scenes.
Oh my god. Great movie.
Scathing review of the fast food industry.
Oh,
by
Lloyd was, yeah.
So tired. Yeah. I just call him Floyd.
And I've got to say, I don't even know how we're going to cover this movie because...
Yeah, you know what? I took a shitload of notes, and then about 3/4 of the way, I was like, I did this for Terra Firma, and you can only talk about so many of them.
Yeah, and that's the craziest part about this. We've done a lot of movies on our show. Troma is the only movie that I've had a problem with, like note-taking.
Yeah.
It is
Well, it's nonstop.
Non-stop from beginning.
And you end up like
end.
missing scenes because you're writing them down, and it's just rapid fire. You're like,
there's a couple times I rewound to catch something, and I was like, "Oh my god, I missed this! I missed this guy like throwing a dick around the room. Like, what? How did I miss that?" And just so many things that are happening. It is mind blowing, absolutely mind blowing. It was great though.
And you watched the making of after,
God, which was so good, so incredible. I mean, this movie is basically run by volunteer actors. They had volunteers doing the special effects, the costumes. Oh, how do you do that? It's crazy.
It is crazy.
So,
can I just interrupt? Maybe on the making of you saw this, but I watched it with our buddy Paul, who was on the show. And he has the actual DVD. It's like a 3-disc. I'm so tired, so I apologize. I can't think straight. He has a 3-disc DVD of it. And before the movie starts, it was just Lloyd outside a movie theater talking for 7 minutes because they were premiering Poultrygeist. And he was like shocked. I mean, I know it was a work, but he was acting shocked that there were still tickets available to see it.
Like he expected it to be sold
out, yeah.
Oh, poor Lloyd.
And when he finally gets in there's nobody in there.
No.
Some guy says that it's already been pirated and everyone's already seen it.
What? Oh my god. The one thing I have to say, I watched the Terra Firma behind the scenes making of movie. Sorry. I pulled up the whatever. What was I saying? Oh, I watched the behind the scenes on Terra Firma and Poultrygeist. It's amazing that these movies are even released. And I'm not saying that they're bad. These people Lloyd is working with the tiniest budgets, which means he's working with people that are not that experienced or...
It would be like if he just took you and me and we're like, yeah, you're going to be in charge of this part.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Here's like $10,000. Go make a movie. And we'd be out of money in a day and have nothing to show for it. And I mean, this guy runs into problems like every fucking day.
Well, I don't think people appreciate Lloyd as much as they should, given the fact that he has no money, and those effects are usually pretty fucking great.
They are amazing. In this movie, they're so good.
They really are.
They're so good. And they hire one guy for basically a day. And that was the only guy they paid for the effects. And Lloyd tried to fire him that day. Because he was super pissed because the effect didn't work. Actually, in the making of, it's amazing. You guys have to check it out. It's on their YouTube page. He's screaming about the effects guy as if he's not in the room. He doesn't realize that he's sitting like in the next room. And Lloyd is screaming about how he's gonna fire him and how he hates his work and it's all bullshit and he refuses to pay for it. And the guy's just sitting there. Lloyd eventually realizes it and he says something along the lines of, "Oh, you're there? Well, I'm just letting you know we're going to have issues about this. I don't like it. I'd like you." He's like, "If I were you, I'd walk out right now." He's like, "I'd understand."
It's so weird because Lloyd's was so nice when we met him.
So incredibly nice. And
to see him yell at people's.
And he yells at a lot of people. But, I mean, to make these movies, you'd have to. It appears that most of these people are nitwits. They really are. They really are. And Lloyd tells them to their face that they're fucking stupid. It's incredible. It's incredible. He does appreciate the volunteers, though. Anyone that volunteered. Oh, not everyone, but the majority of them. Can we call this the most offensive movie ever made?
Ever? Probably not, but it's pretty...
It's pretty fucking offensive. The language used, the racial slurs used.
Dude, with everything that's going on today with ISIS and Jared, it's amazing how much this hits the current events.
Dude, it was very weird. And again, because one of the other problems with taking notes on this is because so much of the dialogue was super offensive, whether it was sexist or racist, that I was like, I can't even repeat this. Like, I'm not comfortable repeating these lines.
There more than once somebody said the N-word, but not like a racial way, but you know.
No, but it's, we can't say that.
It'd be a white person saying it.
But I wasn't even okay with saying some of like the sexual things that they were saying. There's a musical number where like the chorus has the term "toss my salad"
and
over and over again.
And the actor's just shoving that stuffed animal up her butt.
Yeah,
pretending to toss her salad.
It's so weird. It's crazy. It's very offensive. So if you haven't watched it yet, you've been warned. You've been warned. It is brutal. In more than just the gore way. And as it turns out, the gore is off the charts.
Like, once you get to the halfway mark, I think it's the greatest 10 minutes of, like, cinema history.
It's so crazy.
It's so ridiculous, everything that happens.
So let's start where we kind of left off on our last podcast, where I included me laughing at, like, the 3-minute mark of this movie, like, crying laughing. It didn't happen again, but that scene is just so outrageous. We have our main characters, Arby and Wendy.
All the characters are named after.
All the characters are named after fast food
Can we
restaurants.
just run them down quick?
Yeah,
So
Arby, Wendy.
Yes.
Who else do we have?
Denny.
Denny, after Denny's.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Mickey is McDonald's.
We have the General, who is a spoof on Colonel Sanders.
Yes, and that's not even in here. And Carl Jr. Who's Carl Jr.
Who you see his butt crack every fucking scene he's in.
Or a pole sticking out of his dick. Depending on the scene you see. Oh boy. So we meet Arby and Wendy, our two young lovers. High school age. Just about to graduate. Or yeah, Wendy's going off to college. That's the thing. Wendy's going off to college, leaving Arby behind. So essentially they're donezo, and that typical storyline. They're dry humping in the woods.
Dry humping.
And then that leads to sex.
Well, it leads to him trying to get her bra off for 10 fucking minutes, but he's trying from the front.
One of the most ridiculous things. And again, this is so super offensive, so please do not be mad at me for repeating some of this stuff. Wendy says, you could come to college too, like you can come to college with me. And he explains he can't because, Wendy, my mom's a retard and my dad is blind. What? Why is that even? And the best thing I found out, Trey Parker and Matt Stone were supposed to be
the parents. Yeah,
I know. Can you imagine?
I know.
Can you fucking imagine how offensive that would have ended up?
That's actually, because I was in college when this came out, that's how I first heard about that, because I was on some website and Trey and Matt were talking about it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, I have to see this, because I was a huge South Park fan.
Dude, how that would have been the most offensive thing. Two men playing a retarded woman and a blind man. It would have been the most offensive thing.
I know.
It would have been outrageous.
Do they have it shot, or they just never ended up?
They never shot it.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh no! If they wanted to shoot it, it would have made it in. But the kids start having sex in a graveyard. We start seeing hands come up from the ground. One hand goes in Arby's ass.
His little finger out of his butthole.
Sticks his finger up his butthole, but Arby breaks it off somehow.
Because it's like just a decaying hand. So
butt cheeks.
Pops off.
It's ridiculous. And then this guy comes out of nowhere, carrying an axe in one hand and a big fake dick in the other hand, and he's just jerking off. I mean, it's not fake. It's not fake. We're watching the making of Poultrygeist in the background, and Lloyd's balls are literally on the screen.
They just keep popping out.
But this guy is jerking off this big fake dick, which is not meant to be fake. It's supposed to be his dick. And he's just jerking off and holding an axe.
Yeah. For no reason.
That's it.
That's it.
The kids run away, and the most brutal...
Well, the kids run away, and he grabs her panties and sniffs them. He's like, ugh. And he grabs Arby's and is having like the time of his life sniffing them and jerking off.
Ooh, Arby, I want to fuck your fanny. This is his words. I want to fuck your fanny. All right.
So then a hand pops up.
Yeah, best scene in movie history.
It's up there because the hand the Jared scene might be the best scene in the movie.
Oh my god!
But this hand comes out of the ground, goes up this guy with the axe's ass, goes all the way through to his mouth, grabs the underwear that he's sniffing, and pulls it back down through his asshole.
And also, I only know this because I watched the behind the scenes. Little known fact about that: when the hand comes up through the mouth, it is pushing poop out of his mouth because it's coming through his ass. So he obviously grabbed onto some poop and just shoved it out the mouth.
Of course he did.
Like, only Lloyd would think about that. Who the fuck would think about it?
I don't know.
And that was like a last minute thing. Like, probably like, wait, how's the hand going to come out of the mouth without any shit on it?
Last week you brought up the ADR. And the ADR in this movie might be more outrageous than terrifying. So much fart noises.
It's crazy. The guys at Fangoria do an amazing job now of posting our liner notes. I need to I wish they could write them for us before I posted ours, because the ones I put on iTunes are like, yeah, we talk about shit. And they put these like really awesome detailed ones, but they mentioned the ADR thing. They were like, they talk about Troma's classic ADR. I was like, oh.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's so good. So that's basically that scene. They pull his organs straight out of his ass, and it's just incredible. It's just incredible. It
is the perfect way you would want a Troma movie to start.
Oh yeah.
It's perfect.
Yeah. That is just the beginning. That's 5 minutes into this movie.
Yeah.
And we've already seen that. We find out that they're building what do they call it? An American chicken bunker? American chicken bunker.
Yeah.
On a burial ground, which was also where they were having sex, where their hands came up. So they're building an American chicken bunker, this fast food chicken place. And protesters are protesting this.
Yeah, their group is called CLAM, which stands for...
So offensive.
College Lesbians Against Mega Conglomerates.
So offensive again.
CLAM.
And it turns out Wendy is a part of CLAM.
Yes.
To get back at Wendy, who is now a lesbian.
Yes.
Arby has decided he's going to work at the chicken place.
Yeah. And, like we said, it's hard to pick apart every scene, but I do want to point out that he still saved that finger that was inserted into his ass, because he shows it to her and says he kept the butt plug.
Dude, I thought that was going to, again, lead to something. Never does. But it's in the movie the entire time.
He throws it on the ground and it moves, and you think, like...
something would happen. I thought that was going to be the, turning point, or what causes... No.
It's not.
No. And in a later scene, we find out he shoves it up his ass every time he jerks off. Fucking what the fuck? Who thinks this stuff? It is crazy.
But yeah, they bust out into a song, and to get back at Wendy, who's now a lesbian, he is going to join that he's going to work at the chicken restaurant.
Yeah. That song is the most offensive thing. I wanted to write down at least like a line to sing, and I can't. There wasn't a line in there that I felt comfortable singing out loud. It was so bad. It's making fun of lesbians.
For such a low budget, dude, I actually think it's impressive. Like, constructing a song and putting it together is not an easy thing to do.
No, and I'll be honest, the two of the other 3 or 4 songs later in the movie, I actually enjoyed.
There's a song that the General sings that I thought was fucking great.
It's crazy. I really enjoyed some of the music. It was really good. And that is hard to do. That is so hard to do. We get there's an Arab woman in this film. Her name is Hummus. A lot of jokes about suicide bombs and terrorism, and we're not going to touch on any of that.
No,
That's so bad. The current state of things, but I mean, we have to mention it because she's a key role later in the movie, and
yeah.
Otherwise, I probably would have ignored the entire part.
What do you call the thing that covers their face?
Dude, that was the other thing.
Is it a parka?
That's what I thought it was, but I wrote to put a note to explain. We have no idea what that is called, or at least I don't, and now I know Joe doesn't. But no idea what it's called, but it's like a tradition, what you would call a traditional, just, she's covered head to toe except her eyes.
Right.
I don't know what that's called. I don't want to offend anyone.
So
I know. It's just traditional garb.
Oh no, she tries to eat through it. Did you see that?
Yeah.
There's just crumbs all over it.
The mouth part is always wet. Yeah. It's so weird. It's so fucking terrible. She's in it, and her name is Hummus because
Muslim.
Because yeah.
In the chicken place, we see a disgusting looking egg. It kind of looks like the egg from Critters. Or Critters 2.
It does. It's actually more disgusting.
But it's like pulsating.
It's so gross. They all have veins on them. All the eggs have giant veins.
This was another movie where it
was so repulsive.
The thickness of things, of the goo that he uses, is just like stomach turning.
It is. There are scenes in this that honestly made me want to vomit. Yeah. Like straight up. So we get, we could go on about this for a while. But essentially,
it's going to be their opening day.
Yeah, the eggs, these gross eggs are now getting into people's meals.
Yeah.
And they get into a large man by the name of Jared's meal. Yes, it's making fun of Jared from
Ron
Subway.
Jeremy appears first.
Yes.
Because it's their opening day, nobody's there, and he comes in screaming that they're all doomed, like typical Troma fashion. They're all doomed, and he just immediately orders. And then Jared comes in, who's supposed to be a play on the guy from Subway. And Arby says, "Hey, you're that guy that lost a lot of weight from eating the fast food. You look great." And this guy is so fucking fat.
He is the elevator guy from Terror Farmer.
Yes,
yeah.
The elevator guy.
He's enormous, though.
He's so fat.
He was literally, they said at one point he reached 500 pounds. He has a Wikipedia page.
Does he?
Yeah.
Good for him. He's only in Troma films, right? He's in Troma's War.
Yeah, he's been in a few other things, I guess, but nothing big.
Well, this is one of my favorite scenes of this movie.
So, yes, 100%. And this is another scene we caught last week as we were recording, and I was just laughing like uncontrollably because it is so fucking ridiculous. One thing I want to say though, Ron Jeremy had a huge 10-minute monologue.
And they cut it?
They cut it. But here's the funnier thing. The guy that plays Jared, this is all through the behind the scenes thing. He had literally 3 lines, and he knew about them for a year, and he never memorized them. And they had to use cue cards on the scene for 3 lines, because he couldn't remember the chicken sausage patty meal. He couldn't remember that one line, so they had to use fucking cue cards. And Ron Jeremy came on set, didn't have the lines, learned the monologue, did it in one take.
I actually said, because I was watching with Paul, I was like, this might be the best acting Ron Jeremy's ever done. Because the few minutes he was in there, he was all about it. He went all in.
They show the monologue and him filming it, and he just fucking crushes it. And all he did was sit there for 10 minutes and was like, okay, let's do it. And the guy that played Jared couldn't remember 3 lines. And Lloyd was so pissed. Lloyd was so fucking mad. This guy's been in every one of Lloyd's movies. And they cut to Lloyd after, and he's like, I don't ever want to put him in a movie again. This is fucking terrible. He was fucking awful.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that guy could have just ad-libbed something. Like, just anything.
He couldn't say sausage. He was having such a hard time. And we'll explain.
Hard time believing
we'll
that guy
explain.
has a hard time saying sausage.
We'll explain this scene in a minute. But this man ends up on the floor, laying on his back, couldn't get up.
Well, yeah.
And Lloyd was afraid he was having a heart attack, and he's like, "No, I just feel faint." And Lloyd was like, "Well, you're gonna die or not?" And he's like, "No." And Lloyd's like, "All right, then we film."
Fucking Jared.
God.
So Jared comes in.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
He orders something.
And an egg falls into his meal. One of those disgusting pulsating eggs falls into his meal.
Yeah. And he doesn't he pick it up and look at it while it's like pulsating? He eats it anyways.
Yeah, and eats it anyways.
Yeah.
And then he screams, "Bathroom, where? Now!"
Wait, you hear the rumbling, like the stomach rumbling.
Yes.
It's so loud. It's like thunderous.
Yes. Now, the funniest part, he runs to the bathroom. Unfortunately, we see these shots from his butthole from below. And I remembered the scene from watching it at Joe's house. So this is the first time I'm watching it, but because we had no audio on at the time. But it ends up cutting to this scene with Arby and Wendy, and they're just talking, and the entire time you just hear
the diarrhea.
Jared in the bathroom screaming. Like, it literally, they dropped the audio of the conversation you're looking at. You can't hear Wendy and Arby talking, but you're looking at them talking.
Right.
And all you hear is Jared screaming things like, "I can't stop shitting. It's like an ass geyser." What? And all you do is hear him pooping and screaming. And then it just kind of like, all of a sudden, Arby's dialogue comes back up, and you have no idea what they're talking about.
Yeah. And you think the shit scene is done. But it's not.
No.
Because it goes back to it.
Then it goes back to it, and
But you see a point of view shot from inside the toilet.
Oh my God.
And at first when you see it, you just see a shitty asshole. Like, it's his ass
so
crack,
gross.
but with the shit on it. And then it says censored. It doesn't show you the shit coming out. It says censored.
No. And he's just spraying shit everywhere. He then falls off the toilet onto his belly and is just spraying
diarrhea
all over the walls.
All over himself.
All over. It's so gross. He flips onto his back and then just caves in.
Yeah, his body
just collapses on itself. It's so ridiculous. Oh, it's vile. It's just the biggest, fattest naked guy laying on his belly.
Paul actually claimed that he was more disgusted by the guy not having a shirt on than the diarrhea coming out of him.
That's incorrect. The shit coming out of him was so disgusting. Their effects are so good. I don't know how they do that.
Oh, but you mentioned that it goes from that scene and then cuts to the main character, Arby, who proceeds to have a threesome with the 2 lesbian girls, and he jerks off with salad tongs. But then it turns out he's just daydreaming and dry humping a cash register.
In front of everyone.
And then it goes back to the diarrhea scene.
In front of everyone.
Oh, wait, did we say that his body deflates, but then a skinnier version of him covered in poop emerges? He just walks out, he goes, "I'm skinny." Yeah. Why did that happen?
He comes out of his belly like Han Solo comes out of one of those creatures on the Hoth. And just like, is like, "Ah!" and runs out.
What do they call it? A tauntaun?
A tauntaun, yeah. It's so ridiculous. And he just runs out. He screams, "I'm skinny."
Covered in poop.
And runs away. And just runs away. Oh my God. It's so weird. Oh my God. What the fuck? And then
when Denny, the manager, walks in and sees the shit covered room, his reaction is so funny. It
is so funny. Would you stick around if you shit the bathroom this bad?
Shit up a bathroom this bad.
And it's true. You would not stick around. You'd run for life. we get a love song. This
do?
is like one of those good songs that I actually enjoyed.
Wait, this is the Tossing Salad song.
Yes.
Huh.
Fast Food Love.
That girl might actually have a good voice.
And I think they actually sang it because the boy's voice sucks. And his voice in the song sucks.
No, they do, because in that scene that you showed me in the making of, there was no audio playing. It was just them singing a cappella.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yikes. And I think I'm in, yeah. These words, again, are pretty offensive, but yeah. Food analogies, racism, sexism.
Yeah, pretty much.
Lines about getting your salad tossed. Naked women dancing around for no real reason. No real reason whatsoever. After that, Arby ends up in a storage room downstairs, and he meets future Arby. What turns out to be future Arby, which is Lloyd.
Yes.
In a skirt, the same outfit Arby's wearing.
Yes.
Oh, man. So ridiculous.
Lloyd is the best.
Oh, that song's actually good, too.
Yes, and I actually didn't mind Lloyd's singing voice.
I loved it. And then Lloyd plays like a fiddle, or not a fiddle, like
it's a little flute.
Like a pan flute, and dancing around.
His dance moves are so funny, too.
They're hilarious. Just
a little old man.
And during that scene, actually, his balls fall out. I don't know if it made the movie or not, but they show it in the behind the scenes of, and it's disgusting. So don't look for it. Lloyd showing his bare ass.
Yes, but wait, didn't Paco Bell meet his demise right before that?
Oh, yes. Oh my God.
Because I don't want to skip over
No,
that
well, actually, it kind of goes in between.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. Because we are introduced to Lloyd first, but we cut to Paco Bell, who is standing above a meat grinder, which I don't believe are at fast food restaurants. I don't think they trust those employees to grind their meat for them. And he decides to jerk off into the chicken grinding machine, which honestly, that was so fucking gross. I did not want to see that. You don't even see his dick. That wasn't the gross part. The gross part was like thinking about somebody jerking off into your food.
Disgusting.
That's so fucking disgusting.
Yes.
Like, I don't ever want to eat out again, ever again. It pissed me off so bad that I had to watch that. Because it's probably accurate. We get this like POV from this unknown entity. I guess it's just a spirit. We don't ever really find out. And it pushes Paco into the grinder.
Yeah.
And
there's so much blood.
A gore concert proceeds to happen.
In my notes, it was the scene later on, but when there's just red and green shit flying everywhere.
Dude, it was like, a gore concert.
It was a gore concert.
It was 100%. They were just spraying it out of a hose, and it was clearly out of a hose. It was just one single steady stream. It was so ridiculous. There's just so many scenes like that too.
100%.
Lloyd had said he wanted to create the bloodiest movie ever made. And I think he may have.
There's so much.
I guess if you count the blood rain in Evil Dead.
Wasn't Hatchet one of the bloodiest that used the most blood?
Really?
I thought I read somewhere one of the Hatchets or something.
The first one I don't think had that much. I mean, there is just blood just everywhere in this.
This has to be up there.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it is fucking crazy. Fucking crazy.
Who gets blamed for Paco Bell's death?
Hummus.
Yes, the Muslim.
Because
she's just standing there
because
covered
she's
in
a
blood.
Muslim. And they say some super offensive things like,
It's
always you. It's always you. You guys are never happy. Like, you're always trying to kill people. Like, she's like, oh, thanks. And organs are going everywhere in the scene. It was crazy. It was awesome.
It really was.
Oh my God. Guys, so sorry about that. We are recording at my house and a baby started crying. So you might hear him again. I don't know. He was pretty fucking pissed. I don't know about what though. Probably about us talking about going scene by scene through Poultrygeist. Let's hit some of these major scenes.
Can we just talk about real quick? We mentioned Lloyd playing the flute, and Lloyd is like just a human cartoon character.
I know.
It's fantastic.
It's amazing. I just love everything about him. There's nothing I don't love. We're watching the making of while we record this, and there's so many people crying, and so many people are fucking miserable. This is like the third girl we've seen cry.
She's being dragged on her face.
We get a great scene of a man having sex with a frozen chicken.
Yes, we do. Oh, that was Carl Jr., right?
Carl Jr. is having sex with a frozen chicken. So repulsive. They show the chicken close up, and it's just like pulsating.
One of my notes was even the chicken makes my stomach turn.
Oh yeah,
because they're just like, it's like so oddly colored and just like moving.
It's so gross. It's so gross. The chicken ends up having teeth somehow.
Yes.
And bites his dick off.
And another before he fucks it, even more disgusting. He's making out with it.
And he uses a condom that he keeps behind his ear. An unrolled condom he keeps behind his ear. The shit they think up is just ridiculous. Yeah. Ridiculous. But this dude gets his dick bit off. He is another gore concert. Blood just spraying in his face from his dick.
From his dick.
He runs upstairs.
He's screaming, "My dick!"
He's just spraying it. He's just like moving his waist around and just spraying the entire building with green and red bodily fluids. And hummus gets covered again.
Yes. She helps him because the chicken's still on his dick. So she takes a broomstick.
Oh my God.
Shoves it up his ass. And it goes straight out through his dick. And knocks the chicken off.
So he's got a giant mop pole hanging out of his dick.
Yes, and the penis head is still attached to the end of the of the mop. And he has a great line. He says, wait, no. Before I say the line, he gets it shoved through. It goes through his dick. He immediately falls down and just rips such loud ass.
Of course.
For no reason.
Of course.
He goes, "Look at the size of my woodpecker."
Oh my God. So stupid. So, Carl Jr. has a wood dick.
Yeah.
A woodpecker, if you will. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. But this leads to Carl Jr. sprang. Yeah, well, we recorded way early on a commercial and stuff. Yeah, I was recording for a while. I hit record as soon as we ended our last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Carl Jr.'s blood and green stuff spray basically is what causes the rest of the movie, because he sprayed all of the chicken that was there.
Yes.
They end up feeding that to the protesters, who then, in turn, love the chicken.
Yeah, they do.
And it turns them all into, what are they? They're zombie chicken.
They're chicken zombies.
They're like punk chicken zombies.
Yeah.
Because Troma can't make a movie without the bad guys being like super punk rock, and they all are just these punk chicken zombies.
Before that, the general serves it to them. They all love it. One of the lesbian protesters eats it, goes in, and like, I don't know how to describe it. I guess like flirts with the general, because you find them behind the door and he's dressed as a baby.
Yeah, it turns
pouring baby powder all over him.
It turns out Wendy's lesbian lover is actually not a lesbian, and in fact with the general.
Yes,
and it was all a ploy. The protests are all a ploy to get more publicity. Yeah. And Wendy catches them. The general's dressed as a baby with baby powder, and the lesbian, which I feel bad calling her that, but I don't know, I think her name's Mickey, is wearing 2 styrofoam takeout trays on her breasts, and they're filled with chicken, and she opens them and chicken falls into the general's mouth.
Yeah.
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
And then in classic Troma fashion, the next scene is just everybody that ate the chicken vomiting everywhere.
This was so gross.
So much vomit.
So much vomit everywhere. And the worst is Arby carrying a bucket of vomit, walking, slipping, and the vomit going all over him. It was so fucking disgusting. It was so fucking gross.
So the other what's her name? Wendy.
So much shit
Tells
happens here.
the general to eat it.
To eat his own chicken, yeah.
To eat his own chicken because everybody's throwing up, and he's saying, "Well, it's not because of our food." So she tells him to eat it. He eats it, and he immediately just goes, "Oh my god, my ass!" He runs to the bathroom, throws somebody out, and shits an egg.
It's so funny. All the different results of eating the chicken has caused. None of them have been consistent.
Yeah, a man losing all his weight, and crawling out.
And then this guy hatching an egg, which hatches immediately.
Yeah. And...
Devil bird?
Yeah. No, it's a little chicken. I get a zombie chicken.
Yeah. Well, devil chicken. A devil chicken wearing a Indian bandana is born and proceeds to attack the general, who bites off his head.
Yes.
And just gets sprayed with blood.
There's so much.
I can't even... I mean, we need to explain it, that every scene, these people are being sprayed with blood. Every single scene from here on out, there's just blood and fluid everywhere.
Yeah, it's nauseating.
It's so fucking disgusting. It's amazing, though. You guys have to check it out just to experience it. It's so good.
We go back to Carl Jr., who has pus coming out of his dick hole, and he starts to transform into a chicken. And honestly, this transformation scene
isn't awesome.
Top notch. Top
so
fucking
good.
Notch.
And it's so gross. It's so gross.
And then one of the greatest homages to Jaws happens. They all sit around while Denny tells a story that's almost identical to what Quint tells about his time up in Indiana.
Oh, really?
Dude, it is like identical. It's perfect.
I honestly blanked out at that scene because I did not care at all.
He calls the chicken a 1-footer because Quint's
shark.
It's perfect.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I can't even explain how much blood is being used.
Well, yeah, and I don't know how to break down this next scene because I honestly think it's like...
You mean when a man turns into a giant egg?
I mean everything that happens in the next 15 minutes. Because I think it's like the best 15 minutes I've ever sat through.
Oh, so you're talking about the punk Native American chicken zombies?
Everything that happens in the next 15
All right.
minutes.
Well, I wrote down every death scene.
Okay.
And I will break it down for everyone. And by the way, guys, blood is just constant throughout this. Well, first, the general turns into a giant egg.
Right.
The egg hatches. No, it's a giant egg with the general's head and arms attached to the outside of it. The egg hatches and releases a giant chicken man. A giant chicken man who rips Denny's head off with his beak.
Well, he's still telling his story.
Yes, it's incredible. Then we proceed into what is just absolute chaos. These zombie chickens are just running amok. Here is what we see throughout the course of this. There's a man disemboweled. A man gets his dick ripped off.
Of course.
There's chickens bathing in blood. A woman's face gets ripped off. They put a girl's face into a fucking meat slicer.
That was my favorite.
It was brutal.
That was awesome.
And they show it. We're not talking like a Hollywood movie where you just see him using the meat slicer and you just hear screams and blood. You are watching her face get sliced.
It's amazing.
It's
fucking the best.
disgusting.
He's the best at doing shit like that.
A head with an entire spinal column are ripped out of a human body. Oh, and then they take the head, crack it, and scrambled eggs come out onto the fryer. It is so fucking repulsive. That honestly made me queasy. It was so fucking gross. Yeah, that was bad. They stick a head into a fryolator. They rip his balls off. They put those into a fryolator also. And
they also make a
them.
nice little jingling sound when he holds them up.
Yes. There's an eyeball ripped out with a beak, and then they put the eyeball in egg cartons. There's an egg carton full of people's eyeballs.
Honestly, this is what Green Inferno
should have been.
Could have been and should have been.
They rip out a woman's fake breasts.
Yep.
They eat them. There's a head ripped off. Another one. A man is ripped in half like a wishbone.
Yeah, because they say make a wish.
A drumstick with teeth eat a man's throat.
Wait, did you talk about the chicken nuggets yet?
Oh, that shoot into the guy's face?
They just jump off the plate and just jump into the guy's face.
No, and then his face just collapses, much like the other guys. A woman lays an egg, which is like one of the grossest scenes I've ever seen. Like, she just straight up lays an egg. We watch her ass lay an egg. A guy grows boobs, but they're not boobs. They're eggs attached to his chest. And then they hatch, and birds come out. And he throws up in their mouth. And then another bird comes over and throws up in his mouth. Another man's spine is ripped out, and this is all in the matter of 10 minutes,
if that.
It's minutes, and we see all this, but it's long enough to just be like, what the fuck?
It's glorious.
It's amazing.
It's so good. So who comes to save the day?
Our man Lloydo. Yeah, our man Lloydo saves the day with a fucking machine gun.
Just starts spraying.
Here's the weird thing. In the making of, he was shooting real rounds of ammunition.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
What?
He stands on the counter of the restaurant, and he's shooting into a crowd of zombies. They filmed it in 2 separate scenes. One, the special effects where the people are getting shot. And a second scene of Lloyd standing shooting a gun. The gun is real. The gun is real. And he's shooting live rounds. And they have the police come in to like monitor it.
That's nuts.
But I don't know why you would need to do that. Don't they make blanks?
Blanks, right. Yes.
I don't know. And they like bulletproof glass to like catch the bullets.
Right. It seems incredibly unsafe.
It's so super unsafe. Another good fact from the making of is all the nude scenes were not filmed. This is a McDonald's that they actually used to film in. McDonald's had a clause in their agreement that no nudity would be filmed inside the restaurant. So they filmed it in the church next door.
Perfect.
They didn't ask. They just said, well, it's not in the clause, so we'll just film it there. Oh, Lloyd, what are we going to do with you? So Lloyd wastes the chickens. I mean, there's so much that fucking happens in this. It's so crazy. It's so crazy. There's a giant chicken dick that attacks a woman. That's something. What else? Oh, Hummus ends up drinking meat steroids and becoming the Incredible Hulk, which... honestly, like out of a cartoon, she gets so jacked that her eyeballs pop out of her head and spray out white, like milky. Ugh.
Yeah, because trauma movies are just live action cartoons.
And they are disgusting.
Live action Looney Tunes.
Yeah, except like if you added the blood to Looney Tunes.
Right.
Yeah, that's what this would be. Yeah, and it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Like, thank God they didn't do that to Looney Tunes. Oh, man.
We discover what kills the chicken zombies.
Alcohol. Which I didn't think anything of until Arby starts over explaining it, and then it's just super offensive because he's like, get it? Because Indians are alcoholics. And he like says it like 3 different ways, but he keeps saying that. He's like, get it? They're drunks. All Indians are drunks.
Right.
And it's just like, dude,
I know.
Why did you have to include that? That's so crazy. Because it's so weird because Lloyd, I guess the weirdest part is the juxtaposition, because this is clearly shitting all over fast food.
Right.
So he's making like a statement there.
Which, by the way, I'm kind of craving fast food.
Oh, I would kill for it right now. So bad job, Lloyd. So he's making this like real statement, but then he's got in it racism and sexism, which are jokes, I think. But like, you know, like it's just so weird to have those two next to each other, like something you really believe in next to something you don't believe in whatsoever.
Right.
It's so crazy. But the alcohol is what kills the chickens, and they kind of just spray them all.
Yeah.
Spray them all with alcohol. But there's one still standing, the giant one.
Yes.
Now, is this the most anticlimactic ending to a movie of all time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'm pretty sure. And it turns out it was anticlimactic to film. The special effects busted. They were supposed to have this major, huge explosion with the chicken and did not happen. So they just had this chicken get really bad gas and just die. It's so weird when you say it out loud. Oh, man.
Did you notice the car crash scene?
I did.
Same from Terror Forever.
Our producer, Ken Hanley from Fangoria, had posted on our Facebook page that the car crash scene that we talked about in Terror Firmer is in every Troma movie after that. Has been in every single one. And this movie ends with the kids get out. They blow up the restaurant, and all as well as that ends well. But they're driving around in such a long scene of just talking about nothing. And then they just crash, and it's the same crash from Terror Firmer.
They all die.
They all die in a giant explosion. It's the funniest thing of all time. Another weird thing I noticed. So do you remember in Terror Firmer when they're filming a car scene, and you see the people running next to the car with fucking branches?
Yes.
That is what they do. They show it in this, but I noticed it while I was watching the movie because the branches would go down. That is how they do the effect of the car chase.
That's amazing.
It's a blue screen behind them, a blue sky screen, and people running behind the car holding up single branches.
Again, I've said it 3 times this episode. That's why Lloyd is the best.
Lloyd is the best. How do you even pull that off? And how would you...
Dude, there's so much gore in this movie that studios couldn't pull off. The scenes of them chopping with the cleaver, just chopping off limbs.
It's crazy.
So well executed.
Even when we're watching it even when we're watching it behind the scenes right now, it's not edited. So it's not even edited to the way they want it. We're just watching the raw behind the scenes footage, and it looked so good.
Yeah, it looks great.
It looks amazing. I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, the best.
He's amazing. This movie, I loved it. I'd recommend it.
Definitely.
As long as you have a strong constitution, you're okay with the offensive stuff. You won't take it too seriously. Check it out because
it's a very fun watch.
We didn't even get to talk about Lloyd turning into a chicken.
No.
Lloyd getting his nose bit off.
Yeah.
And then it turns into a beak. Oh, there was so much. The stomp on the priest's head.
Oh my god.
There was so much. Oh my god. But we can't go into it that long. And it is 1 a.m. And I have a baby crying in my house.
It is quite late.
So, sorry guys. Hopefully this episode lives up to expectations.
It won't.
Oh, good. That's it for this week, though.
Unless they expect it to suck.
There you go. Next week, I don't know what we're doing exactly next week, but
next week I'm getting married.
Oh yes, yeah! Congratulations to Joe. Well, by the time this is out, he'll have been married.
I'll be married. Holy fuck!
Yeah, that's crazy. Christ. You'll be a married man, and so December we're gonna have some cool stuff, including the Stannies.
Oh fuck yeah!
Late December, so. I think that's going to be 2 parts. We'll probably try and squeeze in 2 movies in December, and we'll let you guys know.
That means our end of the year list is coming up.
I know, you have a lot to get.
I have so much work to do.
I'll send you.
Sorry, Tina, no honeymoon for us.
We're going to sit around and watch horror movies. But they're the best ones.
Well, you have to sit through them
to make sure. Oh, God. Yeah, it's going to be good. Going to be good stuff.
Will The Visit be in your top 10?
The Visit? Oh, no, I don't think so.
All right, good.
There's so many good ones. Oh my god. It might be though. Ugh. I don't know. Deathgasm takes up spots 1 through 5.
I still haven't seen Deathgasm. I'm so fucking far behind.
It honestly takes up 6 spots for me. I love that movie.
Fucking Wedding Planning.
Ugh. Guys, thank you for listening. Thank Harley Poe for allowing us to use the song Gorehound off the album Pagan Holiday. You can find him at harleypoe.com, facebook.com/harleypoe. You can find us on facebook.com/ihatehorror, ihatehorror.com. I'm on Twitter at ihatehorrorshow.
I'm at JoeV421.
And make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. That really helps us out. That really helps us out a lot. We really appreciate the help there. It means a lot to us. And if you do it and send me an email, Sean at ihatehorror.com, I will send you a sticker. That easy. That's it.
There you go.
Guys, thank you so much. We'll let you know about the movies for the next week or so. And until then,
stay weird.
I know I had nothing. I thought I was going to say Happy Thanksgiving, but that was last week. And yeah, that's it. Congratulations, Joe.
Thanks.
You got it. For Joe, this is Sean. Stay weird.
Thank you.
Adios.